Close your eyes. Allow the body to settle fully once more into the supporting surface. Every point of contact soft and complete. Inhale deeply and slowly exhale, the breath finding its natural, easy rhythm. A gentle awareness begins to emerge that the entire architecture from the previous sessions remains fully alive and operational. The raised standards, the redirected associations, the precise questions, the upgraded vocabulary and metaphors, the accessible emotions of power, the compelling future, the core values, the rewritten rules, the expanded identity, the mastery of emotional and physical destiny, and the integrated relationship and financial destinies. The path is solid. The luminous web continues to organize every domain around the larger self-concept. With each breath, those layers settle even more deeply into automatic, coherent expression. Picture clearly in the mind's eye the open landscape now organized by the flow of time itself. Time mastery reveals itself as the final practical domain that multiplies the power of every previous layer. The way attention is directed across hours and days determines whether the hierarchical standards and the matrix produce scattered results or concentrated, compounding progress. And then the thought occurs that time is shaped by the same deliberate ownership already applied to every other area. Feel the soles of the feet resting on the complete foundation already built. From that stable base, begin to observe the current relationship with time. Experience yourself fully watching the patterns of attention without judgment, simply recognizing that every hour is a decision point already under the influence of the raised standards and the expanded identity. The chest softens, the breath deepens, and a calm capacity to direct time with precision begins to form. Inhale deeply and slowly exhale. It all becomes obvious that time mastery is created by applying the same tools already installed, linking intense pleasure to focused, high-value actions, using precise questions to clarify priorities, choosing empowering metaphors that treat time as a generative resource rather than a scarce commodity, and selecting the emotions of power that support sustained concentration. See the hours of a typical day reorganizing themselves around the compelling future and the core values. Feel the quiet satisfaction of directed attention replacing scattered effort. The body responds with greater ease and sustained energy. And then notice how naturally the mind aligns with the outcomes most deeply desired. The ultimate influence of the master system becomes vivid and multisensory. Imagine the cumulative effect of living from the complete architecture day after day. Decisions made with clarity, associations continuously refined, language precise, emotions chosen, values guiding, identity expanded, emotional climate resourceful, body vital, relationships generative, financial flow aligned, and time concentrated on what matters most. Feel the quiet force of one person who has claimed this full system. Watch the ripple of influence moving outward through contribution and example. A clear insight surfaces that rest and play are essential parts of sustainable mastery rather than interruptions. See them as deliberate recovery cycles that restore the nervous system and deepen the capacity for focused creation. Feel the permission to include them as part of the hierarchical standards themselves. The matrix brightens with balanced light. Ownership settles deepest. Inhale deeply and slowly exhale. Suddenly, it dawns that the expanded identity already claimed includes the identity of one who masters time and exerts ultimate influence through consistent, coherent living. Feel this identity settle more fully into the cells, into the posture, into the quiet certainty behind the eyes. The entire hierarchical structure and the living matrix reorganize once more in support of concentrated power and sustainable contribution. Feel a deep sense of coherence, force, and generative calm spreading through the entire system. The first-person voice rises clearly and steadily. I direct time with the same deliberate ownership already applied to every other domain. I link pleasure to focused, high-value action and use precise questions to clarify priorities. I treat rest and play as essential recovery that multiplies long-term capacity. I inhabit the identity of one who concentrates power and exerts ultimate influence through coherent daily living. I feel the complete matrix and hierarchical architecture producing compounding results across every area of life. Every breath reinforces the concentration of power. Every choice strengthens the living expression of contribution and mastery. An inner knowing arises that the creator of this reality operates fully in the present moment. The solar plexus warms with that knowing. The shoulders remain open. The breath remains free. Inhale deeply and slowly exhale. And then sense how deeply aligned actions now feel with highest values. Picture the coming hours and days unfolding with this complete time mastery and ultimate influence already active. Morning begins, and the first block of time is directed with calm precision toward the highest priorities. midday attention remains protected and focused. Evening includes deliberate recovery that restores the system. Reflection confirms that time has been concentrated rather than scattered, that influence has expanded through consistent example, that the full architecture is now producing coherent outer results. The visualization deepens further, revealing even more layers of integration and quiet force. See the daily life flowing with the natural authority of one who has claimed the complete master system. Feel deeply the grounded stability, radiant vitality, and sustainable energy in the body. Allow the heart to fill with quiet recognition for this already unfolding concentration of power and contribution. Pre-experience the pride of looking back on consistent time mastery and expanding influence. The scene becomes fully real with sights, sounds, feelings, and deep emotional resonance. And then rest in the profound satisfaction of having already arrived at this new level of complete system mastery. Awareness expands, recognizing attention as the most powerful tool at command. With this recognition, the session begins to close, yet the integration continues. The path of decisions remains solid. The luminous web remains alive and responsive across every domain, including time. The mastery of time and the expression of ultimate influence remain fully installed as natural expressions of the expanded self. Inhale deeply and slowly exhale. It becomes evident that the next version of self steps forward naturally. The eyes remain closed for a few more easy breaths, allowing the full embodiment of time mastery and concentrated power to settle. When the eyes open, the same deliberate direction of attention, the same sustainable energy, the same coherent identity travel forward into the day.